What's going on, guys? This is Fuego here, coming back at you guys today. Um, this was last week's training for me, and if you guys didn't see my first video, I had my first DUP session 2 weeks ago, and this was last week. And this is all in preparation for my first powerlifting meet. I've been working a couple different powerlifting programs. Started with Juggernaut, moved my way over to Shiko, and we just switched it up with DUP training now. Here I'm just pretty much warming up, getting my hips open. I do a lot more mobility work before this, but I've been incorporating this movement. It's been pretty good, just to kind of get my body to know. Know the movement, get used to the movement as I'm prepping for to put the load up, and get ready for the exercise. But I emphasize a lot on warm up. I definitely do encourage it. Warm up as much as you can until you feel ready to go. You just don't want to risk any injury. I'll be honest, during this powerlifting meet, in preparation for it, I've probably had the most injuries that I've ever had in my bodybuilding career. I don't know why. But I'm guessing with just as I'm understanding proper form, doing things a custom certain way, you tend to, and then with the amount of load that's being put in, you tend to you're gonna get some injuries. So definitely be humble if you're gonna get into a powerlifting program. Have a humble attitude to learn new techniques and new forms, because the load is going to get heavier and you're going to need to do the best that you can to prevent any injuries, because it's going to get pretty nasty. Here's my 225 warm-up, and just pretty much, again, don't do a lot of sets. I don't count them or nothing. I just pretty much get used to the load, because my starting is going to be up there. This is the working set now. I believe, I'm not looking at my sheet, but 15, 325, 35. I believe this is 340. We worked it down from the last week, which was 360, and just worked it down. Fewer sets, something like that. I hate that I don't have my sheet with me right now, but I believe that's 340. But as you can see, I take my time properly prepping. I've been widening out. Sorry, my legs and my lower body stance for this meet, just because we all love to pound it down. All the way down, with our squats. But in the powerlifting meet, if you realize, they only want you to do parallel. So for me, it's like, why expend, why put your body those couple more inches? If I can add on more load and not have to go as deep as I used to, then why not try to get more? So those 2-3 inches matter. It's all about inches, man, in powerlifting. What can you do for less? So when it comes to bench, widening out your bench stance to get more. And same thing here with squats. You're widening out your leg position, so that the distance between the starting position and parallel isn't that far. And I'm not a short guy. I'm not tall either, but I'm about 5'9", 5'10", and you want to try to eliminate as much distance, vertical distance, as you can, so that you can try to get as much as possible. So yeah, as you can see here, I believe I worked up to about 3 to 4 sets. See there, I went a little bit lower than I needed to. And then it pretty much, kind of got me the rest of the sets, as you can see. So you gotta be very you got to train your body, and I believe it's four reps here. You got to train your body to get adjusted to these powerlifting meets and how they want. When you're done, then you can maybe go back to just pounding it down, ass to calves. But from until then, I mean, it's trying to emulate everything in the meet. So as you can see, today was a squat and deadlift day. So I did warm up with 135. Here's another warm up of mine of 225. And sumos have been a pretty, I mean, I've been liking it. I can't complain. I hesitate to want to go into conventional for the meet. I do. But I've been training this entire time in prep with sumos. So I'm going to stick with them. And we're going to roll through. Here it's 315, another warm-up set for me to get ready, because I'll be knocking down 365, the working sets of mine, which is like, I believe 2 or 3 sets as we look here. But for me, it's just, again, technique, form. I'm trying my best to make sure that every rep is the same and proper. I do have a tendency of lifting up one side higher than the other, so that becomes a challenge for me. My foot placing as well is important. And with this exercise, I haven't in a while, but because I think I fixed it up, but I used to emphasize a lot more pull from that starting position there, that initial pull up. I emphasized a lot of too much of glutes, and what it did, it just really kind of gave me this nagging injury between my glute and my hamstring. So again, when it comes to this movement, it's all about lower body explosiveness, but it's pretty much a full body explosiveness. You're activating the back while you're activating the glutes and the hamstrings all together at once. If you activate one muscle more than the other, let's say lower back, then you're gonna start to focus more on pulling with your back, and that's gonna cause injury. So it's a full all-around activation movement, and that's what I've been training my body for. And you see a lot of guys hunched, man, when they're trying to do some deadlifts, and definitely going to have some problems later on in the future. But here's some accessory work. It wasn't a long DUP session as like a Shiko that I would do a ton of sets, but here doing some stiff-legged deadlifts. I love this movement. I variate between this and dumbbell, but my hamstrings have gotten stronger. I do have to say that. This is a quick warm-up set for me. 135. I don't go too heavy. I don't think you need to. Hamstrings is a very, how do you say it? It's one of those muscles that you can get away with doing a ton of sets and just activating it and getting growth out of that. You don't need to be pounding out reps of 3 or 4 with it. It only causes injury to the lower back if you don't do things properly. Here I got 185, and as you can see, I got a little bit hot with that sweater. I love to train with my sweater, man. I had the sweater of strength from BFit Nutrition. That sweater is giving me some good PRs. Anyways, here is the second accessory movement. Glute ham raises. They don't have a traditional machine for it, so I kind of got to use it with this. This one's more meant for lower back, but I position it in a way where I can I don't go as far down, but I go all the way, pretty much very high up, and squeezing, and kind of like pushing my butt into my hamstrings and getting that contraction, but it feels great. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Keep following me. I got my powerlifting meet coming up next weekend. I'll do a lot of videos on that. Anything you need, please subscribe below, and you can contact me for any coaching services at SierraPerformanceLLC.com. Check you guys out.